definitely want to, before we move on, I want to dive back into the A2A thing and talk about this space because MCP is developing very rapidly. There has been really a wonderful community developing around it on Discord, in GitHub, at the conference. Um, but at the moment, it's obviously not part of a foundation. It's being run fully by Anthropic. Do you think the LF would be a great place for MCP? Do you think you can provide the type of environment that it can thrive in?
Oh, certainly. I mean, I think I stated a bit earlier, but we're highly flexible and we understand that projects need to iterate quickly, right? And so the community spec process is really a great vehicle for allowing founders and maintainers to iterate quickly on their specs and build them out in the open and accept diverse stakeholder input. And so we're here to ensure that everyone can build what they want to build and not be encumbered by a lot of the I would say like peripheral activities, right? We put these frameworks in so that you can get up and running within hours, right? And so we would welcome MCP and welcome any projects that would like to have a conversation.
When A2A moved to Linux Foundation, is it like within another organization within Linux Foundation, or is it like just a top level project? How did that happen?
Yeah, we always bring projects in on their own, right? And so they have their own like legal entity structure around them that, and then they can find a home in a foundation, existing foundation, form a new foundation, or exist as a standalone project. And A2A currently is a standalone.
Okay.
Do you think there's an opportunity to bring together? I mean, we had a talk at the last summit about 8 to 10 to 15. I can't remember how many different standards that are kind of emerging around this area, around agent-to-agent communication and around MCP. A lot of them have a lot of overlap. A lot of them are competing standards. Do you feel like the LF could be a place where these standards kind of come together and we can cut the number down? We can maybe even get to a single standard that covers most of this layer that would be easier for us people trying to use the technology and trying to implement the technology. Is that something you think the LF could help orchestrate?
Oh, certainly. I mean, right now we're kind of in this storming phase, right, where everybody is sort of innovating. They're coming up with new ideas, the ways they want to do things, forking projects, and kind of adapting it for their uses. But we certainly, we're much stronger when we all come together and we're kind of working towards common goals. And I don't know if in the end, like we have a single unified stack, or if it's a suite of protocols. But it would be very good for the industry to be able to standardize around a certain set of protocols, and then bring the best of breed of different features from different protocol stacks into potentially one or a few different protocol stacks.
And there's a lot of overlap in these things. It's really hard to imagine. At the LF, you guys have done a pretty good job over the years of having projects that even compete, that offer sort of two different approaches to solve the same problem. So I don't think there's a reason that projects or protocols couldn't overlap. Is there?
So projects in the sense of like open source projects, we have, there's options, right? You have a choice as a consumer. The same, like standards are a little more complex, right? And you generally want systems that speak the same language, right? There's just extreme benefits in not focusing your efforts on trying to, integrate into every single platform or to have adapters into different protocol stacks. And so, ultimately, obviously, with the internet, we have a very nice like TCP/IP UDP stack, and so I guess in the future maybe we get to something like that as projects sort of converge, and some projects may not stand the test of time. Sort of we'll kind of see where things evolve in the coming months and coming years.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This was great. Sounds like the LF would love to be the home for the MCP in the future if it ends up that way. So, and has a lot of capabilities that might make it a good fit. So, thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations on the A2A announcement. That's really great news.
All right, thanks a lot.